Going into this holiday season, I was pretty vocal about the fact that every PS4 owner probably shouldn't be picking up every major game that comes out just because in the current climate of video game releases, we've been seeing games more so than ever go on sale really quickly, and that was really exemplified this holiday more than any other. It seems like every year, these games, even the big budget marquee releases, are going on sale even faster, and that's really what I want to highlight in today's video. I want to highlight 10 very recent PS4 games that became pretty cheap pretty quickly. Now, these games to different degrees, and I am cutting it off at around the end of August, so when the holiday season, you know, the big fall gaming blitz started. That's a little bit before the holiday season, but you get the idea. That's when all the big games started coming out after the drought that was in the summer, and then of course in the beginning of the year we had some major releases. I'm not looking at the games that came out in the beginning of the year because obviously games like Kingdom Hearts 3, Resident Evil 2, they are relatively cheap at this point, but that should be going without saying. But these games, they came out just a few months ago and they're already seeing significant price cuts. And again, a lot of the games that I thought would retain their price a little bit longer, and I was sure that they would retain their price, those games even went on sale relatively quickly. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And let's start off with a game that saw a ridiculously fast price plummet, and that is Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Now, I've been vocal about the fact that Ubisoft games, that's one publisher that you can really wait to pick up their games. They go on sale very quickly. However, in the case of Breakpoint, doubly so, it went on sale very quickly. The game came out back in the beginning of October, so it's only been 2 months and change, and it is already down to $19.99. How ridiculous is that? That just waiting 2 months makes you able to get a game for a third of its original cost. Now, it should be said that Breakpoint wasn't the best received game in the world. I did think it had some good elements to it, but obviously, there's a lot of wrong with Breakpoint. But even then, for a game that just came out a few months ago, $19.99 is a drastic price cut. I don't even think Anthem went on sale that quickly. Obviously, at this point, 10 months after release, Anthem is available for like $5 to $10. But just a couple months after release, Ghost Recon Breakpoint being down to $20, I can't remember the last time a full price $60 AAA game went on sale this quickly and went for this deep of a discount. It's kind of unprecedented, and we'll see if Ubisoft can break that trend even higher next year if they release a game, maybe it's not received the best, and then they put it on sale really quickly, because Ubisoft, as far as a publisher goes, they stand out more than anyone else in terms of discounting their games really quickly. Whether you look at well-received games like the Assassin's Creed games or The Division 2, even those titles go on sale really quickly, but then you couple that with a game that wasn't received all too well, yeah, Breakpoint is just plummeting in price. Another game that went on sale very quickly, and I think it's a great buy right now, is Control. It is regularly available for $29.99 now, and that is a great buy on Control. It's a game that, honestly, the biggest deterring factor of it was probably the fact that it did come out at $59.99. It's a Remedy game, so you know it's going to be a single-player focused experience, which nothing wrong with that, and a lot of you guys were pretty vocal about the fact that, yeah, this is a game I'm going to drop $60 on because I want more single-player oriented experiences like this, and it turned out to be a great game. I just understand from some gamers' standpoint, they realize that a game like this is not going to have a sizable amount of longevity, so $60 for 10 to 15 hours of content, maybe that's not something they'll pick up right away. I loved my time with Control, and now that it's down to $30, I would absolutely give it a buy. The gameplay is excellent, the story, obviously, from Remedy is interesting, but again, that gameplay was really the standout for Control. I was not expecting high-quality gameplay like we got, but Control really offered that, and now that it's down to $30, it's a great buy. Next up, here's one that I didn't expect to go on sale all too quickly, and that is Death Stranding. Generally speaking, the well-received Sony PlayStation 4 exclusives do hold up in price a little bit longer. God of War didn't go on sale for a long time. Spider-Man held up for a while. Usually at that 7 to 9 month range, okay, then you're gonna start seeing discounts to $40 or $30, but Death Stranding already regularly available for around $35 to $40. I saw it for $35 the other day on Amazon. Right now, it's available for $40 at GameStop. Kind of ridiculous. It's not like everybody loved Death Stranding, however, it was still a game that I think the reception was more so positive than negative, and it was one of those games that I thought was going to hold up in price a little bit longer. Now, it didn't go on sale during Black Friday, so give them that. It came out in the beginning of November, and it was able to persist that long. But just think about that for a second. Just a little over a month after its release, it's already available near 50% off. That's kind of ridiculous, and again, an indictment on how quickly these games are going sale, even in the case of Death Stranding, a game that I really would have expected to hold up in price a little bit longer. Alright, Alright, next up, here's the game that probably held up in price the most, but it's still seeing a discount, and that is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, this just came out. It came out back in November 15th, and you are hard-pressed to find discounts on it all the time. However, I have seen it as low as $35, which is a great buy for Jedi Fallen Order, much like Death Stranding. In my opinion, Jedi Fallen Order was also the better game, and it seemed like it was better received from consumers, although if you actually look at Metacritic, Death Stranding has the higher Metascore than Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, so I find that rather interesting. I personally think Jedi Fallen Order is the stronger game, but whatever the case may be, it's another game that I was expecting to hold up in price for a little while given its strong reception, but then ended up going on sale as well, and even right now, while I don't see a reasonable discount on it, it is a part of GameStop's buy two get two free on pre-owned games, so if you couple it with a couple of other titles, you can get a pretty good deal on it. So kind of interesting how everything came together for Jedi Fallen Order as well. It's a great game, I would highly recommend it, and this is one of those titles that even at $60, I would say that it was well worth it, and good to see it also quietly going down in price as well. Need for Speed Heat is another game that went on sale really quickly, another EA release. However, as a Need for Speed title, these games usually aren't received the best, but Need for Speed Heat is probably the best NFS title since probably Need for Speed Rivals, which was a PS4 launch title, or maybe you can even go back to Hot Pursuit. Heat, I thought, was a good game. It has some issues, but if you want a quality Need for Speed title, a quality arcade racer, definitely has more good than bad. Right now, it's available for $40 at GameStop, but it has been available cheaper. I've seen it as low as $30. And again, if you like arcade racers, it's going to be one you really enjoy. Next up, we have Borderlands 3. This came out back in the beginning of September, so a little bit older. However, it is also down to $30, and by the looks of it, 2K and Gearbox have actually lowered the retail MSRP for this game to $39.99 from $59.99. I think out of all of these games, that is the only one that actually dropped its MSRP, which is rather interesting. That's how it's listed on GameStop.com right now, and that's where it's also available for $30, so I find that rather interesting. Borderlands 3 is one of those games that I thought was really good. It's more Borderlands, so I imagine the people that were excited for it picked it up on day one. Now they're just trying to get it out the door even more, and I would also suggest that if you think you can hold out on Borderlands 3, I can almost guarantee you that at some point it's gonna get a complete edition, it's gonna get, you know, a Game of the Year edition or whatever, or it could even see a PlayStation 5 upgraded version. We've seen 2K Games release Borderlands Game of the Year edition, we've seen Borderlands Handsome Collection. I don't recall off the top of my head if we got a Borderlands 2 Game of the Year edition. I know PC did, I don't know if the PlayStation 3 did. Whatever the case may be, Borderlands is a series and a game franchise that 2K and Gearbox constantly re-release, so if at this point you're not all too eager to play it, you can hold on a little bit longer. One that I would probably wait a couple more months for, see if they announce, you know, a PlayStation 5 launch version with all the DLC, because I could easily see that happen, but I thought it was a good game, and if you are itching for more Borderlands, Borderlands 3 is a good pickup, especially now at $30. The Outer Worlds is another game that I have to be objective with, that the fact that the PlayStation 4 version is not a part of any subscription service, that's one thing that really put me off on this game on the PS4. Xbox guys and PC guys are signing up for Xbox Game Pass and playing this game for $1, while we're left on a PlayStation 4 to pay full price. It's down to $40 right now. I've seen it as low as $30, and let's be objective about it. The Outer Worlds is a great game by Obsidian. We don't have to take into account the fact that the other guys are playing it super cheap. If you assess it as the RPG that it is, it's got a great art style, a lot of dialogue options, and a lot of choice in the game as well. I think there's a lot of depth to the game's story as well, and it's down to $40 right now at GameStop. I've seen it as low as $35, so going on sale rather quickly, and I imagine it's going to see more discounts given the fact that, hey, if Private Division was willing to offer this game on a $1 subscription service, I imagine they're not all too against lowering the price of the game sometime soon, but already down to $35 to $40, and it's a great pickup at that price. Next up, one game that I was adamant that you guys shouldn't pick up at $60 was Catherine Full Body Edition, and now it is readily available for $30, which I think at this price, this is great. The issue with Catherine Full Body is that, yes, it was a really robust version, but it was a game that released all the way back in 2010 initially, and a game that released in 2010, I'm sorry, I just cannot justify spending $60 on it. Maybe at $50, given that they did add a lot of content to it, but also added the fact that it's not like Catherine was the most content plentiful game in the world. $60 was just a really hard price to justify. However, now at that $30 price point, I think it's a great buy if you want want a quirky Japanese game with a rather interesting story, I think Catherine Full Body is a great buy, especially at the current price you can have it for. And the final two games kind of go hand in hand. Outside of Death Stranding, the PlayStation 4 got two exclusives during this fall season, and they were two budget exclusives, so already they were available super cheap. The first is Concrete Genie, that released at $29.99, but readily now available for just $20, which I already thought that $30 price point was great, but at $20, even better. One of the more underrated games of the last few months, but I thought Pixel Lopez did a really good job with that title. Pretty well received by the people that played it, and if you have yet to, $20 for it is a great buy. And then also, we have Medievil. Medievil was a game that got kind of a lukewarm critical reception. However, the gamers that actually played it seemed to really enjoy it. I myself, as somebody that played Medievil back in the day, really dug it. And again, another game that initially released for $30 but now readily available for $20. I do think it's a great buy for that price. Thought it was a great buy at $30. If it was anything more than that, yeah, I could see you being off-put by it, but at the current $20, it is an awesome pickup. And that's gonna conclude this video. I hope you guys enjoyed me highlighting every game that really came out during the fall, every major release that went pretty cheap pretty quickly, and it's kind of surprising when you look at all of this, that these games are getting discounted rather quickly. The only one that I didn't mention was Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That game was going on sale, but nowadays you're really finding it for around that $40 price point, which I think is pretty good, all things considered, for a Call of Duty game, because going back a few years, those Call of Duty games would literally just not go on sale. They would hold up in price for the entire year, and then after the following year's Call of Duty would come out, then it would go on sale. Now, Modern Warfare came out, it was a well-received Call of Duty game, but it's already down to $40. Hey, that's a good sign, and kind of goes to show that, yeah, these games are getting cheaper a lot quicker. That's gonna conclude this video. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. With all of these price drops, what games are you planning to pick up in the next few months? Or are you gonna wait for some of these games to get even cheaper? Again, Borderlands 3, at some point, I imagine it's gonna get a complete edition released. A game like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order definitely has room to drop in price even more. Even a Death Stranding, I could see that being $20 by, say, April, May. So sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.